What is up? Welcome back to another episode of Friday Night Futon. Here we are with just another good episode. We got MLB starting yesterday. That's why I got the Phillies jersey on. We beat the Nationals. It was a very good game, very good opening day game. Tyler O'Neill with six straight homers and he plays for the Orioles with six straight
Crazy.
homers every single opening day, which is very impressive. I hope a homer for the last 6 years. Um and then a lot of good college basketball last night as well. So those are some of the things that have been
Definitely.
pulling me off of the NBA a little bit. But the NBA has still been hot and still been good. Um, I think we should get right into it. Well, what we want to start from
Let's
like
do it.
some Wednesday games because that was kind of like the best day, or you want to go with last night's games?
I'll go with Wednesday. Whew. Wednesday showed me a lot about the
And
NBA.
that's interesting because we're nearing the ending point
Yeah,
of the season here.
yeah,
Getting ready for playoff basketball, looking like what we're uh playoff matchups.
yeah. So let's first talk about the Lakers, one of the best games of that night. The Lakers versus Pacers,
Yes.
back and forth. The Lakers in the second, seed, Pacers in the fourth to fifth. They're just going back and forth. It was a great game. Just watching Benedict Mathurin score 23 points, and really the whole team contributed. You had more than one, two, three, four, five, six, like seven players in double digits, which is
Hmm.
seven or eight in double digits, which is amazing for the Pacers. Um, they did end up losing about 1 point by LeBron tipping, but it does not take the fact that they were able to hold Luka Doncic to 34 points, which is amazing.
Yeah.
When you think about the Lakers and Luka Doncic, what he can do, you know he can drop 30. But against a
Yeah.
team like the Pacers, you think he would go off, drop 50.
Well, the thing is
Allegedly, but
also with Luka is like I mean, you both held LeBron James and Luka to seven
yeah,
assists. I know it's a lot for a lot of players, but you're just holding them down to seven assists. But they do
yeah.
all have a good game. LeBron only as well has 13 points. But yeah, I'm in agreement that both you know that these players were going to perform and produce. But yeah, we did. The Pacers did with their lackadaisical defense, they did put up a very good fight against this team.
Yeah. So that was that game. I was
18
surprised that.
assists for Halliburton.
Mm-hmm. Crazy, crazy. Because we know what he can do. We know what he's capable of.
Are we gonna get into the semantics of this? Oh, because we do know what happened before this game. We got LeBron James in Indianapolis on the Pat McAfee show.
Mhm.
Um, and then the Stephen A. Smith caught up a little bit more. Um, LeBron had some other things to say about some other people in the sports media, like Brian Windhorst saying that he acts like he's just his best friend and he thinks it's kind of weird.
Yeah,
Um,
stalking him.
yeah, and then Stephen A. Smith, of course, what goes on his show and says even more crazy things. Uh,
So
you
he
know,
said. So he said LeBron wasn't at Kobe's funeral.
but then he tweeted it out that he was, and he said, "I'm
Yeah.
sorry for miss doing information." But I'll
So
talk.
I think he's reaching.
Yeah. Oh, you think he's reaching? Because he also said that if LeBron put his hands on him, he would have swung. Yeah,
And he
Stephen.
also went back on that on Twitter and said he's a 6'8" monster. He would destroy me. Hey yo.
Yeah. This is why you watch our sports media. We don't be talking outlandish things. We give all these players these credits. We would never swing on a player. Um,
Never.
we never even think about doing that. Um, I don't mind what LeBron did at all. I think I know it definitely hurt Stephen A. Smith seeing him on the Pat McAfee show because you can say
Yeah.
whatever you want to on the Pat McAfee show, and that's definitely the platform that he LeBron knew exactly what platform he was going on. I mean, I think
Yeah.
he's also
I was surprised to see him go on there, honestly.
yeah. I mean, I was too, but then I was like, okay, the game's in Indianapolis. He's probably gonna dominate.
Yeah.
It's on. The game was on ESPN. It's on the network that Stephen A. works with. I'm like, and you pull off a game winner on his network. It's pretty special stuff. But But yeah, nothing really that much deep into that. Just a lot of social media drama. But I think it's worth noting and talking about. But
Yeah.
'cause it is the biggest of the sports media entertainers in Stephen A. Smith, and the arguably the biggest basketball player in our league with LeBron James.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, my fault. Let's keep staying on track. Um, I think you were about to push over to the Celtics and Suns game, which was
Oh yeah,
the
which
fir
was
was the
that?
first game of
Yeah,
the night, and that was honestly pretty good at the beginning, and then the Celtics just made it unfair.
yeah. So I understand where the Suns are coming from. Devin Booker had about 10 assists, double double, did his thing. Kevin Durant had 30 points. He did his thing. It was close in the first quarter, but they put up too many threes. And the Celtics, okay, watching that game, I learned like, man, the Celtics are unstoppable. If Porzingis can score 30 points, like how fast he's
Yeah, 6 for 8.
launching threes,
Oh, 4 for 5, 4 for 5.
4 for 5,
4 for
crazy.
5, 6 for 8 from the free throw line. So I mean, this is also a game where he's getting to the line more than anyone in the more than Jalen Brown, which is also
Yeah,
impressive. So he's hitting threes at a higher clip than your stretch big. I mean, yeah, Al Horford shoots 2 for 7. I'd rather have some of those shots go to Porzingis because yeah, I mean, I'm in agreement. He's absolutely on, and when he is cooking like that, this team is like you get those Jason Tatum possessions, you get him like 3 or 4 times in a row, and then it's like depending on how those go, you get like your feeling of the game, and then just a trailing three out of nowhere comes from Porzingis, and that's just a heartbreaker to be honest sometimes because it's virtually unguardable.
yeah. That first quarter was really tight. I thought like, okay, the Suns are gonna pull through, and then it just got worse and worse. You had Jalen Brown just kill him, 24 points in 28 minutes.
Hmm.
Al Horford dropped a double double, 16 points, and this is all, mind y'all, this is all without the star Jason Tatum.
Yes. And without the bench really performing all that great, Peyton Pritchard only 7 points, shooting 3 for 10 and 1 for 8 from three. He's been having some really bad
Yeah.
his lows are really low, which has kind of been pushing me towards like the Ty Jerome six man of the year because of how consistent he has been throughout the whole year. But the highs and lows of Peyton Pritchard, they're really high and they're really low. You're either getting a half court shot or you're getting some 1 for 8 shooting nights. And it's Sam Hauser also comes in there shooting 4 for 5, very efficient, but still not the bench productiveness that you're looking for. So I thought I did kind of feel like you had to play Horford in the starting lineup because Tatum was out, but then so when Tatum is there, you're getting that extra Horford production off your bench. So I guess that would be the recipe to this. But I
And
mean
I don't
it,
know, just watching that team, they just
yeah,
felt so full to me. They just felt like, man, and this without Jason Tatum. I'm like, if they do all this, if they're doing all this without the star, man, Jason Tatum, I think they're unstoppable. What do you think? I know the Suns they were fighting, man. They were fighting. They were fighting to
yeah,
try to
but
get through that
their
the
team
play-in
dead in the
tournament.
water. But it's
Yeah,
definitely a team that can test your
this is too
defensive
much.
capabilities with a high score. Um,
This is too much.
I think if the Celtics are cooking like this and Porzingis comes into the playoffs, they didn't even
They're
have him
definitely
last
going
year.
back to the finals.
Yeah, they're definitely making a run back because that's one all-star caliber player that didn't get to feel what that run was like on the court.
Yeah.
So he technically still has that fire under him that wants to get there. Um, and if he's backpacking them for like these little couple games at the end of the regular season, this is a perfect time for him to start ramping it up, and the best time for Jason Tatum to sit because you've already pretty much secured a top two seed here. Um. Going on to the net, another game that really catch my eye was the Nuggets and Bucks game. Um, the Bucks also they've been on like some really highs and some really lows.
Yeah.
I'm glad that Damian Lillard's kind of found his footing again. Uh, they did not have um they did not have Giannis and they did not have Damian Lillard both for this game, but they were still able to make it somewhat competitive until the very end. and then Jokic really had his way. 39 points, 10
Hmm.
assists, and 10 rebounds. And then Christian Braun up there with 10 rebounds with 19 points and 6 assists. And then you get another 10 rebounds from Michael Porter with 23 points and 10 rebounds. So it's like, how are you going to beat this team like when
Yeah,
they're
it's hard.
when they're
It's hard to
rebounding
beat
like
them,
this?
man. It's hard to beat them. They got too many factors,
Yeah, this is the one of the
and
team
because
that
they're
puts
only
up
playing like eight
the least
guys.
amount of threes. Yeah, they put the least amount of threes. So how are you gonna win games with putting up low threes? Get more possessions with the rebounding, and that's exactly what they did. They're very very good with the ball. But yeah, the
Yeah.
Russell
So my
Westbrook kind
thoughts
of
on
train
that
is kind of
game was,
stopped.
yeah,
Because I mean, he 24 minutes, 6 points, 2 assists, and 6 rebounds off 2 for 9 shooting and 1 for 6 from three. So his kind of hot burn has really slowed down, and I think he's kind
yeah,
of what helped them when the Nuggets were kind of struggling at the beginning of the year. But it's nice to see that Jamal Murray has kind of stepped back up. We've seen some really big games from him. I saw some crazy stat that was like he has had the most 30-point games in a season for his like career, and then only one of them, like one of them was in December, and the all the
mhm,
rest have been in 2025. So he's had
gotcha.
all of his 30-point games in like the second half of the season, which is very impressive. He only puts up 17 this game, but they really put up a good performance against the Bucks team, a 127 to 117. Yeah, what were you guys saying on this?
Um, to go back to the Bucks,
Yep.
I can't say like they had a bad performance. I'm impressed with anything.
Yeah.
Look at Brook Lopez. In the second quarter, he had about 19, 20 points without without Dame and Giannis, which really shows you which really shows you the impact he has on the team. But he's there to carry that thing. And he can shoot. Like, come on. I think he did a great job. You had Torian Prince, my guy, Mr. Run around the court for 33 minutes, score 3 points. But today he gave us 15 and 5 assists. And this is all without Giannis and Damian Lillard. So the thing about the NBA, the interesting thing about the NBA is what these players can do without the star players that you really got to watch for.
Mm-hmm.
Like
No,
you'll never know. Like
I was a
even
little
looking at
disappointed with
the
Kuzma's game
Dallas
though.
Mavericks, yeah.
He only put
Even
he
looking at the
only
Dallas
10
Mavericks,
only 10 attempts with both those guys out.
yeah,
I kind of want to see him in that 16 where kind of like Brook Lopez is with attempts. You put taking one more shot than Torian Prince? Come on now. They not trade for you to take one more shot than Torian Prince.
yeah,
But yeah, no, I'm in
yeah.
agreement.
But
These
yeah,
games
even
without the stars are
yeah,
really big, and we're seeing a lot of
hmm
them right now in this with a lot of different
yeah.
teams.
Even looking at the Mavs versus the Knicks, Najee Marshall was able to score 38 points in 38 minutes. So we don't know what the NBA is going on, but it's going crazy, right? Another game I wanted to look at
I was
was
I was going to talk about Clippers Knicks. You want to go into that one?
oh
That
yeah,
was
yeah,
my
we can go.
last Wednesday game I was going to talk about.
Oh yeah, we can go into
Where
that.
we saw we know the Knicks are going to be playing their players. Mikal Bridges with 40 minutes, Towns with 39. But then I'm going over here and then I'm seeing Kawhi Leonard play 41 minutes at the end of the night. I saw
Which is
him out there for a
amazing.
lot. 27 points, 10 rebounds, 7
Almost a
assists.
triple double.
10 for 18. He's been seemed like he's back into his mode. Like he's ready. Like it's really we're seeing some really vintage, really impressive stuff from Kawhi Leonard that I don't know that we've really been accustomed to as he's been with the Clippers. It's kind of just all talk, but now it's really his basketball. Like he seems to be 100%, and then he's playing those minutes and performing like how you expect Kawhi Leonard to perform as the number one guy, the true number one guy for this team.
And the thing about that, you still had Norman Powell score 19 points and Zubac contribute,
Hmm.
which is amazing. Because I feel like teams like the Knicks are the Clippers kryptonite.
Yeah, they didn't have Brunson for the Knicks. They ended up playing Cameron Payne at the starting
Yeah.
point guard for 18 minutes, which he actually did fine, 15 points off 6 for 9 shooting, but no assists. So you're not really having that true guard player out there. So it
That's
was
true.
impressive to see Mikal Bridges kind of be that facilitator for this team for a game where he had 9 assists. But which good, which kind of back to your point with the Bucks. I'm kind of like I'm. This is kind of a silver lining for the Knicks because I felt like I was watching a lot of Knicks games where they were kind of relying on Brunson a little bit too much, and that's
Mhm.
what's going to get you killed in the playoffs when you're relying on your star player a little too much because your star player is relying on Mikal Bridges to hit his corner threes. That's why you sign these players.
Yeah.
Like you're looking for just more valuable role players. So. They have to play without their star right now because he's down with an injury. So even if they're losing games, I'm just expecting this team to get a little bit more confidence and a little bit more just attack and aggressiveness without Brunson in the lineup. So when he does come back, that instead of Cameron Payne can drop his 15 points off the bench.
That's true.
But yeah. I also just really good. I think it was one of our games of the nights, if I'm not mistaken, last week. But
Hmm.
um. because just two teams that are just kind of at the top, but not at the tippy top of their conferences. But it was a very good game, and I've been the stock for the Clippers keeps rising. I mean, what do you think their ceiling is this year?
I think they can definitely make it to the second round of the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, I would say their ceiling right now is the Western Conference Finals as well. I mean, the team is really clicking at they'd have to take out some really tough competition as any team would in the Western Conference, but they have the scoring, they have the size that a lot of teams that we talk about, we always talk about how they don't have the size or like they're missing some of these things, but they have um and they have like Kawhi Leonard on like the backside of their defense. Like he's not really the point of attack defender that as he was anymore, but like he's gonna pick up some of these tougher matchups and it's gonna be different. It's gonna be it's something that no other team has. No other team has a Kawhi Leonard. Like
It's true.
you can have your chippy Chris Dunn, so they have a Chris Dunn. Like you can have a Jose Alvarado. You can have like these like Keon Ellis is like these chippy guards. No one really has a like perimeter lockdown wing.
I agree. I agree.
You want to go on to last night's games?
All right, let's go to last night, Nate. Last
Yeah,
night games.
yeah,
The
lead us
Pacers
off.
definitely destroyed. They got angry. They got mad. They destroyed the Wizards, man, by 51 points, 162 to 109, man. This is crazy. You had everybody, almost everybody on the team score for the Pacers. Who didn't score? Everybody scored.
Everyone did except for Johnson because James Johnson doesn't play. He just is there for bodyguard
More
duties.
support.
Yep. But yeah, no, everyone did touch the floor. That
Tyrese
uh,
Haliburton, 29 points, leading the pack, man. I love it. He
hmm
had Jarris Walker, 16 points. Everybody got to touch the field, man. This thing about when you play these teams, everybody has to score and they have to destroy them. So I'm glad it was a free win for them. That's not a lot on that game. Just they destroyed them. Another game I want to talk about is the Mavericks versus the Magic.
Yes, the Magic been a team unable to hit 100, and if they would have hit 100, they damn near might have won this game because the
Yeah,
game ended 101 to 92, making it sound like it's a 2003 basketball game score.
yeah,
But yeah, go off on this one.
yeah. Some
Anthony
shocking things
Davis
that
returned. Anthony Davis
yeah.
has came back for the Mavericks.
Mhm. Anthony Davis returned and he didn't do a lot of production, 15 and 7 rebounds, which is not quite what we were thinking he would come out, but he did come off of like an injury. So I think it should take time to get back into it. So that was that. Najee Marshall that played 41 minutes, scored 6 points. Why when he scored 38 points the other day? I don't know. I don't know. I guess just how the cookie crumbles. The
He
first
had
quarter was
22 off the
pretty.
bench from Hardy. That was impressive.
Yeah, that was good. The first quarter was pretty tight, and then it kind of started getting separated around the third quarter with Dallas taking the lead up by 14.
hmm
some shocking things to me was okay, we know how good Paulo Banchero is. He had 25 points at half. He could
And
have scored 50. He
it,
had half of their points.
Yeah,
They had
ended
50 points,
ended
he had
with
25.
35, 10, and 4 assists. And then I'm seeing a fat donut here in the starting lineup. KCP putting up 0 points in 33 minutes. And this is the
Looking
guy
like Tony Snell.
I was coming into talking about how he might fix their shooting problem, and he's putting up 0 for 3. Franz Wagner also putting up 0 for 5. We talked about how Palmachero's game was insane, but 1 for 5 from 3. This team is horrible at shooting threes.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
this is bad.
I always noticed it about them, but I always thought they would change.
I thought Franz's shot was gonna fall around because it was somewhat there his rookie season. Then he took a sophomore slump, and then it's like, okay, what type of shooter are we working with? And clearly, we're not working with a elite shooter at any means.
Crazy. So that's pretty much it for that game, y'all. It was just kind of sad to see that they weren't able to bring it up after like the third quarter where they're trailing by 14 at the end. I feel like they just can't shoot. I feel like that's what needs to make them better. They need to be able to shoot more. That's pretty much it for that game, y'all. Another game, probably the best game of the night. Probably the best game of the night. My Josh Giddey, my guy, the Giddler. He did his thing, man. He saved the game. The Bulls won 119 or 117, which is amazing. Um, Watching this game, I just knew Kevin Herter was gonna do his thing. He scored 21 points off. He was doing great.
This is the type of players that
Josh,
the Lakers don't guard.
yeah,
Like it's like even though you're a shooter, we're still gonna take our chances with you and see if you can burn us tonight.
yeah,
And he hit shot 5 for 10 from three, 50%. So I would say that yes.
yeah. So the great thing about this game is we really saw Jackson Hayes do his thing, right? 19
Mm.
points, 8 rebounds, looking like a baby Anthony Davis, which is good for the Lakers. But I feel like they gave up too many points. Austin Reeves also had 30 points. Luka Doncic 25 and 10 rebounds, which is amazing. I don't think they failed in production at all. Besides giving up too many points. What'd you think?
Yeah, I know. I think this is one of the games that we kind of see the Lakers defense kind of slipping and not being like what it was before the pre-LeBron James injury. Um, which is kind of concerning because you are letting these guys kind of get what they want. I mean, Kobe White's gonna score his points, but like that Kevin Herter, like I just said, like you can't be having those guys shoot that many shots and expect
Yeah.
like a sharpshooter not figure out his way around it. I don't know, just the Lakers defense hasn't seemed like it's totally been there. I mean,
Yeah.
Jerry Redick has spoken on it that it's crazy how much defense is just effort
Yeah.
uh
Facts.
and you kind of just see that the efforts kind of slipped from that, and you don't know if I don't know if that will rise back into the playoffs but they do need some of these wins and stuff. But
So the,
the Luca and LeBron are back to carrying a huge offensive load on majority of nights, and because I feel
yeah.
like when they were that big defensive team, it was kind of like the Luca's going off, so LeBron's like locked in on defense, or
Mhm.
it's like LeBron's.
Austin Reeves.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you're not
Yeah.
really getting that. LeBron has to be engaged offensively, which is taking him out of defense. Unfortunately, not all the play, and not every player is like that, so that's not an excuse, but just seems to
Yeah.
play how like the how the Lakers have been rolling this year.
Yeah.
Very
So the thing of yeah, go
very
ahead.
big, very big. You didn't mention that the game ended on the
Yeah, I was gonna get into that.
Josh Giddey half
Yeah.
quarter.
So the thing about it is, y'all, the
So
Lakers, they
you also had this game. Like you
yeah,
could have won it.
I knew honestly, I knew Josh Giddey was gonna score a triple double. Why?
Oh
He's
yeah.
been so close to doing it the last two games, and then the last time he played the Lakers, back then, he had a triple double. At the second quarter, he had 11, 8, and 8, I want to say. So I'm like, okay, if he doesn't get this,
So you got to be in the live betting.
yeah,
You gotta get in the live betting.
Yeah, and just watching him, you gotta watch how he plays. Watching the game, he's an amazing player. Besides the allegation. So look, the Lakers, they were winning. They won the second quarter and the third quarter. The fourth quarter was what killed them. Really just too many threes they gave up, honestly. I think that was the reason besides the Josh Giddey three. You had Kobe White drop some threes, Patrick Williams drop some threes, and really just couldn't stop. What, what do you think about that? Like them giving up too many threes, how that can affect them in the late game.
Yeah, so that's like that's just what kind of like the Lakers have been falling into. Like they're very, very good at packing the paint, and even without a center, you have to close it in with Vanderbilt, you're closing in with LeBron. Like they're very good at like making that those type of things congested. But definitely when this is not a team that I would want to see play as Celtics because this team that would let the Celtics blow them out of the water from three. Um. That's why I like the Lakers. I feel like would be very fun matchups for like the Rockets and the Grizzlies, like a team that not shooting that many threes and kind of needs more physicality thrown at them. Um, but yeah, just, so the they're still contenders in my mind. The Lakers still have very, very high hopes. But yes, the defense has been a problem the last couple of games, and they do need to figure it out. That their defense just in general. I think the 3-point thing is always going to be their identity. I think they're always going to pick one guy in a series to be like, if you shoot us out the series, then that's what you do. Um, and I don't think they'll ever be really a amazing team at guard on the 3-point line, but we saw when they, because even when they were locked in that on defense, it's not like they were, it's not like the 3-point line was their emphasis. They were focused on a bunch of other things defensively. So I think just finding back that your footing in defensively and not really, not forcing yourself to guard threes in ways that you wouldn't necessarily guard them.
Yeah.
Another game I just want to talk about really quickly. We don't have to talk about that much about it. Was the 124 to 116. I like to see that the Cavs are back on their the good streak right there with with a win over the Spurs. What impressed me about this game was just the playmaking of the Cavs guards. You had 25 points, 8 rebounds, and 14 assists for Donovan Mitchell. You never really see him get that high up in the assist category. And then Darius Garland with the 9 assists. This results in Jared Allen having a very big game, 29 points and 15 rebounds, shooting
Amazing.
10 for 11. So uh, that was really, really nice to see that they gotta get their footing back under them. They're one game away from 60 wins, so they're 59 and 14. So if they were to beat the Pistons tonight, they would be one of the first 60 win teams. Um, and I think that Pistons going to be a challenge for them as well. It shall be interesting. But I've been really locked in on March Madness and stuff like that. I think those are probably more my games of the night. But
Yeah.
what's your game
Yeah.
of the what's your game of the night tonight?
Game of the night for the NBA. Let's see. Let's see. Honestly, just because the Suns need to win so bad, I want them to win. So I just want them to win just for moral support. The Suns versus Timberwolves probably be my game of the night.
Yes, I think that's a very good one just because the matchups just
Yeah,
AD and KD. Um,
AD, KD, and then you got like Nas Reed, and you got a lot of people. And
yeah.
also another game I was looking at was the Pistons versus the
Hmm.
Cavs. That could also be a great game. You see, Jalen Durant's been having a great game. He's been doing this thing with the double doubles.
Yeah.
So that could also be a potential great game. What do you think? What are your
So
games tonight?
my game of the
And
night.
also after this, after you talk about your games tonight, I'll let you go talk about NCAA a little bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say my joke actually. I was gonna say my game of the night's Kentucky versus Tennessee. I think that's Kentucky. That's the 3 seed versus the 2 seed. I have Tennessee pulling that out. I think that's gonna be a really, really good game. But going on to the NBA, I was gonna say the Knicks versus the Bucks, two of the uh top seeds in the East, but it's not the one and it's not the two. So it's very, I like to see like when two of the top, they both know they're top dogs in the East, but they're not. that number one. So this could be a very big game for both of them. I don't know if I believe yeah, Lillard is out and but I believe and Brunson is still out. So this could be a battle of just like the role players. But like we
Yeah,
were talking
definitely,
about, it's been kind of
definitely. This
interesting.
should be good, y'all.
Yeah, I kind of want a big game from Kyle Kuzma here because I didn't get the last game. Um,
Let me
so
grab my charger real quick.
so I think it could be a really good one. Um, but going on to the March Madness, we saw some blowouts last night. We were kind of like the theme of it all. You had Florida take care of business last night with they played Maryland. It was 87-71. It looked like Maryland was gonna fight really close right there at halftime, and then Florida always just was able to carry the momentum. And then you had Alabama who played at a BYU team that tried to play as the same pace as them, but got blown out by the three-pointer. Spears was lighting them up from three. 113-88 beating BYU. And then the Duke versus Arizona game. Arizona was making some threes to make it competitive, 93-100, but it really just felt like uh Duke was having their way. And there was a couple times down the court where I knew that the Duke just had it wrapped up when Cooper Flag threw both those lobs to his center. You just knew it was wraps. And then the big game of the night last night was the game that went into overtime very, very late. Arkansas was beating Texas Tech, and then Texas Tech is able to come back and beat Arkansas in overtime. So those were the big games last night. I'd probably say I'd keep my eye out for Purdue Houston. If that's an upset, that's going to be huge. Um, but I'm really, really pushing for Houston right there. But yeah, that was pretty much the college basketball scene right now. We're kind of seeing. Oh, we're kind of seeing. Oh, we got three Joshes now. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
But yeah, but I was just wrapping it up anyway. Just talking about just I was gonna say Houston versus Purdue, the 1 and 4 seed. We're reaping the benefits of there being no upsets. I mean, looking at these seeds, we have Ole Miss 6-2 versus Michigan State. We have the 3-2 playing. We have the 1 and 5 playing. We have the 1 and 4 playing. So I'm really glad that we're getting all these high seeded matchups because you usually don't get those very often because one of those teams is kind of playing a 15 or like you're playing a really poop team at Sweet 16 sometimes. So it's nice to see that our Sweet 16 is very competitive with the high echelon teams in there. But uh Josh has started up his YouTube thing. You want to promote that at all?
Yeah, so I just dropped a video a couple days ago. It's basically just like a business slash finance episode. $1 million lifestyle versus oh sorry. $25,000 lifestyle versus $25 million lifestyle. It basically goes through the different lifestyle in between. It's pretty interesting. That was my first video. I was a little sick, but I am going to be recording today. We're gonna do some fun stuff like so you had a bad day today, like stuff like that. Little fun videos. And I think it's gonna be a good channel. Yeah, I'm just excited about that. And
That's
my
Josh with an
channel is
X, right?
Joshua the X JXSH.
JX8SH. Yeah, go look. Make sure you like and subscribe to that. I have not really been posting on I haven't been streaming all that recently. I've been kind of just in my like dungeon of just grinding MLB The Show by myself. I've been watching it's a very good game to watch other games with. Like I was watching pretty much a lot of the opening day games. I watched all of the college basketball games and then I watched some of the NBA games we were talking about last night. Couldn't miss that Bulls game. Um but I'll be back streaming that up more recently. Yeah, the boys just haven't been on recently. The Discord been kind of dead. It's
This because I think everybody's either been working or just in their own lane.
in their own lane, bro. I don't know. I haven't heard anything from the Grady Owens in a minute.
Yeah,
The Minecraft world
legend.
got real stale for we were super close to beating it. So I kind of do want to hop back on the Minecraft world just so we can beat it. But yeah, and then the Rainbow Six Siege season, I've been really slacking on that, but so we'll be
Yeah,
back up on that soon. When I have some of my off days. And hopefully we're still figuring out, me and Josh are still figuring out what when we're gonna squeeze in our another episode a week. Because we are trying to get it up to 2 episodes a week. And like I said, like I keep saying, uh we're still figuring that out, but just know that we'll definitely have 2 episodes by the time playoffs come around.
definitely,
We'll
definitely.
definitely have 2 episodes when playoff comes around. But thank you all for watching. Any last words, Josh?
I hope y'all have a good weekend. I hope y'all do something productive, have some fun, man. Be safe out there in this crazy wild world. Um, and coming next week, I hope you have a great week. And just take life 1 hour about a time. And
One
right up
hour.
1 hour about a time.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Make sure to like and subscribe to Friday Night Futon, Giblets the Clown Gaming, and Josh with an X. Shout out to your boy, Deuces.
Peace.